Now please turn to page 5 of your campaigner packet, and we're going to talk about how to make a successful ask. There are really two parts to making a successful ask. The first one is to know the story of the YMCA, and the second is to ask for the money itself. First, you must know the story. There are many stories at the YMCA, and you may have your own story to share. I'd like to share one with you right now. We had an individual, very proud man, that had been a member of our YMCA for several years. He had 2 daughters in our swim team program. One day he came into our front desk and talked to our membership director, Tia Dally, and told Tia that he was going to have to cancel his girls out of the swim team because he had recently lost his job and that just wasn't going to fit into their new financial plan. Tia explained to this individual, who I will call John, that we do have financial assistance here at the YMCA for just such purposes. John listened pretty intently, and as I said, he was a proud man and didn't really want to take financial assistance, but Tia explained to him how that this money is collected by individuals such as yourself for circumstances such as the one that John is in, and we knew it would be a temporary situation and he wouldn't be on financial assistance for long. So he acquiesced and took the financial assistance for his 2 girls to allow them to have a more normal life and continue their swimming with our aquatic swim team. About a year later, I happened to be at the front desk and John walked into the facility, checkbook in hand and a big smile on his face. And as we spoke, he explained to me that he had recently gotten a new job. It was a very successful job, and he had come back in to pay back the money he had used, the money he had borrowed for financial assistance from us. And in addition to that check, he also wrote us another check to help individuals in the future who might be in a position similar to his and needed help. There are many stories out there about YMCA families who have needed our help. And please understand that before we give out this money to people, we do an extensive check on their earning abilities so that we keep an eye on where their money goes. They do have to meet specific standards, and it is all very personal and private. It is only reviewed by our membership director. Another story that we have is about an individual that lived in Chaucer Estates right behind the YMCA. Beautiful home, wonderful family. This individual came in one day to cancel his membership. He had been without work for about 8 months, and thinking that he would quickly get another job, had not bothered to change his lifestyle. But after 8 months of unemployment, he realized that things were going to have to change, and leaving the Y was one of the things that was going to be necessary for him. Again, he spoke with someone at the front desk and learned of financial assistance that is available for adults and families for membership. Jim stayed with us for quite some time after that, and he would come in every morning at 6 a.m. and we would see him working out, and he would refer to the YMCA as his sanctuary. He said it was such a struggle looking for a job. He never thought that it would take him as long to find one, and he could find peace when he came into the YMCA, and his family could continue their normal activities at the Y, and how much that meant to him. So there are a myriad of stories out there. If you don't know one yourself, please don't hesitate to ask one of the staff members. We'll be more than happy to share a story with you. And again, if you've got your own story, please do share that if you feel comfortable. We talked earlier about making your gift first. Please do make your gift first. It is very difficult to ask someone else to make a gift if you have not done so yourself. Plan each one of your asks. You'll want to sit down before you make a call or before you have a face-to-face meeting with someone and plan exactly how much you're going to ask that person to give. It's very, very important to not be afraid to ask for too much. There really is no such thing. You're certainly not going to offend someone by asking them for $500. All they can do is say, I can't give you $500, but maybe I can give you $250. If you only ask for $250 and they could give $500, you may have lost an opportunity. So please aim high. Ask your best prospects first. It's very important to feel successful when you start this campaign process. So talk to people, friends and family that you know the best and you think might be most willing to give, and ask them first. We've talked about how important it is to make a personal visit. It's much harder for someone to tell you no if you're looking at them face to face than over the telephone. So in all cases, if you possibly can, do make a personal visit. But remember, we do have calling parties here at the YMCA, and we'll talk about that in a minute. When you call or visit with someone, start by saying, I'm calling on you today because I believe in the YMCA. Don't put the twist on it that I had to call you today or I was given this card to call you. Make it as personal as you possibly can. Again, tell them what the YMCA is doing. It is your job, just as importantly, to tell the story of the Y as it is to ask for money. And you really cannot truly ask for a good amount of money if you don't know a story or have not shared a story about how the Y is changing lives right here in Coppell. It's important to remember that all the money that we raise from our YMCA partner campaign stays right here in Coppell. The money does not go anywhere else. It stays here and it is used for the people who come into our Y to join. It could be your neighbor, it could be a family member, it could be a friend, it might even be you. So it's important to know where the money goes. Don't apologize when you ask for money. It can be very difficult, but if you truly ask from the heart and know that the YMCA does make a difference to individuals, then that makes your asking a lot easier. You must speak with truth and touch their hearts in order to really capture and attain the highest donations that you possibly can. And finally, we've talked about asking for a specific amount and aiming high. Unless you ask, you'll never know how much money you can raise for the Coppell Family YMCA.